Today, ESOPs have become a key part of the ecosystem, especially the tech ecosystem. Just wanted to understand Zerodha's perspective about ESOPs. In Zerodha, it's a little different, right? I mean, you've never raised money, you don't have investors. So the pressure of creating exit events are not there. Pressure of doing an IPO is not there. Traditionally IPOs and M&As have been the liquidity event for employees. There is no valuation benchmark really. I mean, Zerodha's valuation is really guesswork at the end of the day because there is no external validation. This makes it simple and complex. How does it work at Zerodha for options?
Yeah, no, I mean, see, firstly, I'll tell you why the rush of all this ESOP announcement, right? Like I said, right now, ability to attract talent is probably the toughest India has had in the last 100 years or whatever, right? Historically, right? So it's actually very capitalistic, in the way, today you're attracting, people to work by offering a stake in the business, right? As in, I think the rush is so much more because if you don't do it today, it's very tough to hire good talent. Now, with Zerodha, what happened was when we started the business, there weren't any, really large ambitions as such. So, I mean, this whole idea of ESOP, etc. I mean, I didn't even have it, when we started a business. We knew that because the reason we didn't have it was firstly because we never thought we were going to build a business of some serious value, right? This was for us, when we started was almost like, I keep talking about it, like how, in the old Bangalore, if you like music, you like beer, you want to set up a pub to get your friends in, right? I mean, it was almost like that, it was meant to be very, like for niche community, etc. And then I think this whole realization that we are building something of value happened only around 2015-16, right? Because by then, we started growing fast, and then we realized that now that we have value, it's just we ideally should be sharing with everyone who's part of the growth, right? So that's when the whole idea of ESOP, I mean, we actually put out a ESOP plan and started kind of giving out ESOPs. So the way we've always positioned ESOP is that as we do well as a business, we will make sure the winnings are shared, right? I mean, it's almost a socialist way of thinking about this, is in the like everyone has to be play partful. But I won't promise you anything right now, be it how much ESOP you'll get, be it what will be the valuation of it, right? But based on, we'll have a general overall idea on, how much of the profits that we want to share with everyone on the team, how much we want to keep it as buffer to grow in the future. And the rest we'll kind of divide. Buyback is completely optional, in the sense we don't force anyone to do any buybacks. Every year, for whatever stock that we, ESOP that we buy back, we are issuing new ESOPs as well, a lot more than what is bought back. So it's not like we're trying to buy back the stock as such, forcing people to buy back. And also all our stock options come at zero strike, right? So that means there is no cost for the, it's almost like an RSU versus an ESOP, in the sense, right? As in, people are getting this as a, instead of getting, I mean, we give cash bonus, plus there's almost like a bonus that's coming in stock, which comes at zero cost for them, So that way it's been quite easy. But if I look at the entire ESOP structure at Zerodha, I think what has helped us the most, in making it very attractive is that we have never promised a certain return.
Sticking on the topic of vesting, would you think about vesting which is not linked to time, individual KRAs or company level events? Just taking a random example, company turning profitable, company hitting some revenue multiples, revenue numbers, company achieving a financing round. Do you think thinking on those lines is sensible?
No, we have, like I said, every year, the amount of money we're allocating for buyback is a percentage of our profits, right? See, at the core, what the message you're trying to drive with the team is that, dude, we need to be a profitable business, right? As in, and because, and really the way we want to measure our business is, how much profits we make. And that has to be driven into everyone. And this whole saying that, we're going to allocate this much percentage of our profits, for buyback, a lot of people now care about how much profits does Zerodha make, right? Because until we did our first buyback, no one really cared because it made no difference to them. I mean, our bonus was also earlier like a fixed bonus, saying give 4 months for the best guys, etc. So we have done something like that. I mean, it's a very indirect way of doing it, which is to say, like how much of capital we'll allocate. So people are kind of driven towards the overall whatever I'm personally trying to chase as a business. Two, also what we've done this year is that we've said that so we have every month we have this thing called as a performance index, so where for say the tech team, the manager, KA decides what was their contributions, etc. Every month, every quarter, etc. We measure a certain performance, and so when we're doing buyback, the amount of buyback we offer is actually is based on their performance for the year, right? So our best performer can kind of buyback, participate in the buyback for a lot more than the worst performer, right? I mean, that's something that we put into play because so the thing is, at Zerodha, we don't have any revenue targets, we don't have any sales target, we don't have any, for no one on the team gets up and says, what, I need to generate this much revenue, right? So all the way we measure everyone on the team is using our customer ratings, the quality ratings, just that's how we measure most of the team. For tech, it's more personal of sorts. That's something that we're experimenting this year. I mean, I'll get to know in a while if it actually led to people caring more for their performance, because the performance has an impact on how much they can participate in the buyback.